Okay, 3, 2.
Hey Gary, are you getting your contact lenses online?
Hell no.
Today we're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of online contact lens purchasing, glasses online, and some of the good things about telemedicine. My name is Dr. Harvey Fishman.
And my name is Dr. Kerry Gelb. Welcome to Four Eyes. I'm very fortunate to be here with a world-famous ophthalmologist, Dr. Harvey Fishman.
Thank you so much. You're a world-famous optometrist. Thank you, Gary.
You know, Harvard, Stanford trained.
Yeah, do not say Harvard.
I don't want to insult you.
Please don't insult Stanford.
Stanford trained, PhD.
Yes.
I mean, what could be better than talking to somebody with as much wisdom as you?
The corned beef sandwich from Katz's. That could be better, but let's not get into that. Hey, look.
Isn't that this big?
It's really big.
It's that big
I love corned beef sandwiches, but that's not good for your eyes.
But we have a
anyways,
serious subject that we want to talk
do.
about. Let's talk about how patients could be potentially hurting themselves by getting a refraction online, mimicking an exam.
That's right. So, this is a really sticky point because obviously patients they want an efficient exam, and they feel it's an unnecessary thing to go into the optometrist, ophthalmologist to get an exam. But we know that there is a lot to be learned about the health of the exam, and the problem is as much as the details of these websites say, this does not mimic an exam, everybody still thinks of it as an exam, and that's a problem.
Right. I mean, even on the sites for when they do the online refraction, they have small print, go see your doctor. So they know what they're doing is kind of sketchy to begin with. And they know that people should get their eyes examined because the eye is very complicated. From the front of the eye to the back of the eye, there's a lot of things that could go wrong.
Right.
Anywhere from, God forbid, a brain tumor to macular degeneration to diabetes in the eye, the problems with the front of the eye if you're wearing your contact lenses wrong. You don't want to cheat yourself and go and do this online when it's just as fast and usually not that much more expensive or a similar price to go into a doctor's office.
Right. I mean, the reality is that everybody wants convenience, but getting an exam online, there are so many things that you're going to miss potentially. And when I say online, I'm really talking about a doctor or somebody who's just reviewing your chart. I mean, there's no substitute for being in with a person who you know and you respect, or actually a real person who you can actually interact with, who can pick things up. One of the things that, ophthalmologists, we typically don't do a lot of refractions, but some of the best ophthalmologists do their own refractions because what you learn about the refraction is unbelievable. You can learn not only about very subtle aspects of their vision, but you can also learn about their mental status. You can learn about other aspects of their health. So it's not just, even though it's just a quote unquote eye exam, it's not. There's a lot more to it. And I think that the big danger with online exams is really that that people are being duped into thinking that this is all there is to it, and it's really a problem. At least in my field. And by the way, I don't even sell, my business is not about selling glasses and selling contact lenses. My business is about medicine. And I just see it as a big issue because they're not coming in to see me to get, to understand the health of their eye. What about you from your perspective?
Well, there's three main parts to a comprehensive eye exam. There's the eye health part, which is probably the most important. There's the refraction and how the eyes work together. Well, let's talk about the refraction because that's what they're selling to people online.
Right.
Now, you could get a refraction in an office where they're using equipment that costs $100,000 to give you a refraction, and on a scale of 1 to 10, the way you're going to see out of those glasses is a 10.
Right.
Now, if you're going to do it online, you might only see a 4. You're not going to see a 10.
Right.
And the average person has their glasses for 2.5, 3 years. So you might be wearing a prescription that it's not quite as good as you could. Driving at night when it's getting dark, or it's raining, you might not see somebody crossing the street. You might put yourself or your family in danger.
And the other thing that's interesting is that most of the online exams are linked to getting online glasses or getting online contact lenses. And again, you have exactly the same problem, is that you might not be getting the right fit. Contact lenses you have to fit them correctly, or it can really cause new blood vessel growth into the cornea. It can cause issues. I mean, the person might have an existing ulcer and get a renewal of a contact lens because on the form they say, yeah, my eyes are fine, but I need some new contact lenses. And so there's, having it linked, getting the online glasses, which often are not going to be fitted as well.
We don't know who's making them.
And we also don't know the expiration date on them, and there's a lot of things, and we don't know the reliability of these.
The amount of oxygen that's getting through it.
That's right.
The optics, how you see out of the contact lens is very important.
Right.
So yeah, it might say -4 or -2, but you don't see the same -2 out
That's
of
right.
one brand that you do at another brand. So why cheat yourself?
Right.
For a little bit of convenience. You're really not saving any money.
In the long run.
You may have a little convenience because you don't have to go to the doctor's office.
So we're transitioning to what's the solution? Well, the solution obviously is see your eye care person. I mean, see that person. And I want to differentiate, the whole concept of telehealth and telemedicine. This is not telemedicine. Okay, this is cheating. There's a huge difference between getting an exam on a computer by your own doctor or somebody who you trust in that doctor community. There's a difference between getting that exam where they know you, they know your history, and they're able to give you a good understanding versus this sort of fly by night kind of online place.
I mean, many times the eye exam not only could save your vision, but could save your life.
That's right.
How many times have you had patients, you were the first to diagnose that they were diabetic, and you saved their life?
Right.
Or God forbid they had hypertension, something very common, and you diagnosed it.
That's right.
That's something that's diagnosed a lot through the eye
And
exam.
it's interesting, even though most medical insurances, or a lot of them, don't value the refraction as a medical part of the exam, it is incredibly important as a medical diagnosis because you can learn things, like you can learn subtle things about, like if they have diabetes just through the refraction. And I don't want to get into how I can do that, but if you're really good and if you had a patient and all of a sudden they're doing really well and all of a sudden their vision falls off, you do the refraction and pretty much their health, they have a background of, let's say, abnormal glucose. Hey, that there's probably an issue here, and you may have to go one step further. And if they were doing it online, their vision might be off just a little bit on the online exam, but that person wouldn't have the full history and say, hey, you've been really good before. You've never had 20/25 or 20/30 in that eye. I think we need to dilate you today. And then we need to go that extra step. And that little subtlety just is never going to come up on these online exams.
Right, because when you're doing the refraction in person,
Online non-telehealth exam,
right.
non-telemedicine exam.
You refract with your ears, not. That's how
That's
you
a
do
great
it.
point.
Because you could tell somebody has dry eyes and all different types of problems just from the refraction. So forget about the eye health part, which is so important that we talked about before, missing a systemic disease.
Yeah.
And then is how the eyes work together.
Right. For 4 Eyes, my name is Dr. Harvey Fishman.
And my name is Dr. Kerry Gelb. And online exams is what that guy leaves in the field.